males are generally people who look to be served, while men are people who generally look to be of service. And I said, what is it as a man that I'm not doing to serve my wife? Now, some of the things I'm like, I don't get it, but
I need information.
That's what she needs.
I need information.
Let me figure out a way to give my wife what she needs. A man is only as valuable as his commitment to service. Period. It isn't about performing in the bedroom. It's not about how many women you have. It's only about how committed you are to service. And for me, it's about serving my wife and serving my kids. And if my home is settled, then I know I'm doing my job as a man. If it's not, if it's chaotic, then I know that I'm probably the problem.
I understand what he's saying. It's men are, they're people that have to take on acts of service. I get that. But my question is, what do you call the person that needs to take on the act of service and also needs to have service done to them? If you get what I'm saying. I feel like he kind of framed it as males have been taught from young ages. They've been taught to just provide services. You're a utility. You're not there to be served. You're supposed to serve everyone around you, which is great.
No,
I think
he said men, but he said males
I
seek to be served.
I get that. I get that. I get that. He's saying males seek to be served and men seek to be of service. Yes. I got that 100%. I got that.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, what do you call the person in the middle who also needs service? Because as a human, you need service. You can't just be the servicer all the time, because what did you tell me not too long ago? Burnout is real.
It is.
If I'm servicing all the time, I'm going to burn out. I'm around here putting out all the little fires all the time, right? And as a man, if that's what my utility boils down to and my need from my family boils down to, then at some point that's going to cause a disruption. Somewhere down the line, it's going to be something that I'm going to be looking at saying, hey, I'm doing what I can to make sure my family is running the way that it should be. But I need service too, And I think a lot of times wives feel like they are in a place of, I'm servicing everybody. I'm cleaning up. I'm taking care of the kids. I'm doing X, Y, Z, and all you doing is working. But I work too, which I understand. I understand that 100%. And I understand what he's saying because he's right. The man does need to be the person of service. You need to be there to serve your kids, serve your wife, and they're not necessarily to be served the same exact way. But you need to be there to do those things for your family in order for it to run smoothly. But in order for your family to run smoothly, the servicer has to be serviced so that he doesn't go out of service. Because that would be a problem, because then who's doing the servicing? So I can't say that this is something that you can say, oh, well, he's a male if he wants service, or he's a man because he's doing the servicing. I don't think it could be that simply put. I think the conversation is a bit more nuanced than that. Thoughts?
So I was listening to it and I was thinking, I have a husband of service. And I think that what he speaks to, male versus man, is more of boy versus husband, or however you want to do it. I have a husband that does serve. However, women serve as well. Just like you said, like we are serving our husbands, we're serving our house, we're serving our children. We are of service as well. And I agree with what you said about, if you are doing all the service, at what point do you get served? So you can service all day long, but you can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
So I think it becomes more of a partnership. So as you serve me, I serve you, so that we can pour into each other's cup.
Right.
And I don't think that his intention was to take away from the woman or the wife's
No.
role in speaking to men being of service, right? I think that men historically are less serving than women because historically that has not been the role. The man provided, but he did not necessarily provide service.
It depends on what you are saying service is, because providing, that's a form of a service.
Okay, you go to work and you provide a paycheck. What else do you provide? What else historically was that service role? What else were you serving?
The household. I'm fixing things in the house. If the car needs to be dealt with, I'm dealing with that. Anything else, like if there needs to be some type of protection or something, that's me acting as a security guard. It's service. I think the problem is when you're looking at, okay, what the man hasn't done historically and acts of service. I think we tend to look at things through the lens of each gender or the proposed gender roles that's been passed down, through tradition. I think we end up saying, okay, I'm a woman. These are the ways I portray my services. Your service portrayal doesn't look like mine.
And it doesn't. It doesn't historically.
So I don't think that you're providing the service, sir, because it don't look like mine. But and the same thing happens on the other side. Men will look at, well, all you do is sit home and change diapers. All you do is cook. All you do is clean the house.
That housewife stuff, there's a lot of work.
I'm outside.
Don't let nobody tell you different.
I'm outside of the house dealing with all these people and bringing home a check, working these long days, on my feet or, manipulating things with my hands. So what you're saying is a service. That sounds easy to me. That's not really a service.
That's a lie.
The only thing you do is you service me when you lay on your back. And you don't lay on your back that much. I'm saying that's what men.
I got you.
I can see, some men saying those things. I don't say that, but But anyway, but I understand where you're coming from. But again, those lenses are different.
They are.
So I cannot say that men weren't providing services.
I think that we look more at quantity. Because the things that you named, you service with a paycheck, you service with, car and household fixes. Those are not everyday things except for the working part. Mm-hmm. But when you think about what a woman does, historically speaking, and let's just take housewife situation, for instance. Mm-hmm. It is literally a 24/7 job that never ends. I'm always cleaning the house. I'm always cooking the meal. I'm always raising the children. I'm always with the children. Like, it doesn't stop from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep. And the only time that there is a break is when you sleep. And so it is longer servitude, if you will.
Yeah, but then also those are things that can be seen and kind of quantified.
Yes.
In hourly form. When you think about a man, you may not think that he's protecting you, but, and you've said this to me before, but the thing is, just because nobody's broken in our house all these years, but
because at this moment in time right now, you are not protecting me. Right. There's nothing to protect me from.
But my mind, at least for me, my mind is always in a heightened state of, fitting into that role of being a protector. I'm always trying to stay vigilant. Like, if something did pop off, my mind needs to be logically thinking about what's going to happen, where we're going to go, who I'm going to send to what corner of the room, or, go hide. I need to go grab this. I need to stop this at this door. all this stuff.
While we sit in front of this camera and record this podcast.
I sure am.
In our locked up and secured home with the alarm system on.
I sure am. And if it goes off, who's running down there? I got to be able to mathematically figure these things out. So I'm thinking about it at all times. Even when we out, I'm at the gas station pumping gas. My head is completely, it's on a swivel. It's not still the whole time. It's just twirling. So this is an act or a service that's being, provided that you can't really see or quantify or even know is going on, right? I know, I know it don't.
We
seem
will
like
always agree to disagree on this one,
and that's fine.
It is,
and
I love you for your mind and your constant protection.
And that's fine, right? We can agree to disagree on that, but typically, as you said, you see the woman working around the house. I can see that. So that's why it appears that you are always doing more. You are doing more physical labor in that particular stance. I can't even argue with that. But that the mental gymnastics.
All right.
But anyway, back to what
I just want to point out that women are doing mental gymnastics as well as we prepare meal plans and prep kids for school and help with homework and laundry and household coordination.
I didn't say that you did.
I know. I'm just saying.
I didn't say that you didn't. I didn't say that you did. But sometimes those mental gymnastics from both sides are self-inflicted.
This is very true. Now you get no argument from me on that one. Sometimes we just need to learn how to turn it off. But that takes us right back to the point that I was making, that it's cyclic. As you pour out and pour into me with service, I pour out and pour into you with service. And so our cups are always being filled and not just emptied. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I agree. And really that's the way to make sure that one of the ways to make sure that your marriage or your relationship is constantly being balanced. As he pours, you pour. Then none of y'all end up running on E.
Right. And if you see that maybe your partner has poured a little bit more than they probably should have, and you don't have enough to pour in there, send them off somewhere for a vacation. I just kicked him out recently. Go have a night to yourself. Enjoy. No children, no us. So you only have to worry about protecting you and relaxing and just shut it all down. And I got us.
But that
because you need a break.
That the whole protection thing, that didn't stop because I was in the hotel thinking, man, what if something happened and I'm not there?
We were just fine.
I couldn't even get no sleep, man. It's just crazy.
I'm sorry. Crazy.
But it's all right though. But do you have any closing thoughts? Closing thoughts
are just pour into each other. Let's take the whole, well, I am of service and he's not of service, or I'm of service and she's not of service, out, and focus on making sure that as you are being poured into, you are also pouring into your partner.
I agree. So if you guys could like, share, subscribe, that would be great. It's been nice talking to you guys.
As always.
Peace.
Good night.